This is Montana This Morning.
Governor Greg Gianforte says Montana will need a lot of help to weather a long fire season this year. What he says is needed. That story is coming up. And Montana U.S. Senator Jon Tester is one of just 10 senators trying to come up with a compromise infrastructure bill. Also ahead, what he says he does and does not like about a package the group is working on. Well, it is a gorgeous day shaping up over southwest Montana, but it is dry and hot. And Chet, you're out on the patio. I'm kind of jealous that you're out there.
It is beautiful out here. The upper 40s right now. That shot from the Montana State University campus, you can see some smoke in the air from that fire up near Townsend. We'll see some more of that as well. Meantime, beautiful in Butte right now. Here's a live shot from our community hospital of Anaconda ICAM. Blue skies and clear conditions out there right now. It's 40 in Butte, 44 in Belgrade at the airport, 46 in Dillon, 34 in West Yellowstone. Your day in the Bozeman area shaping up into those low to mid 80s with lots of sunshine, just some breezy conditions. Butte's going to top out into the 80-degree range as well. And then a little bit cooler as we head into our weekend and maybe even some rain. Holly, details of that all from the patio in about 10 minutes.
You're a busy man, Chet.
Working on it.
All right. Well, first here, homes have been lost as the Robertson Draw fire south of Red Lodge has now burned more than 24,000 acres. Officials now say they believe they know the person responsible for starting the fire. There's a map of the location. That suspect spoke with the U.S. Forest Service and the county attorney, but an arrest has not been made. Fire officials say 8 major structures and 13 secondary structures have been destroyed. The fire is still 0% contained. Meantime, Montana's Governor Greg Gianforte traveled to that fire yesterday to hear directly from fire officials. MTN's Brandon Warren was there and has this report.
Governor Greg Gianforte met officials at Belfry Elementary School to get a briefing on the Robertson Draw fire.
Concern is the fire continuing to come over here and down towards the Beartooth Highway. So
Gianforte mentioned that it's an early start to fire season and he is preparing for the long haul.
As these fires get bigger, we need federal resources. I was very pleased on this Robertson Draw fire that we secured federal funding just yesterday. So the feds are going to be paying for 75% of the cost of that. That preserves our fire suppression funds for additional fires that we might see later in the year.
The community around Belfry, where the firefighters' base is located, has also been gathering funds.
Right now on Facebook, we have a link that people have been sharing like crazy, and there's almost $4,000 in that account. And then just like Venmo and PayPal and everything, probably about $1,000 there, so $5,000 total. And I'm not quite sure with all the supplies, but it's a pretty incredible amount.
Those donated funds have been used to buy supplies for the firefighters in the area. The supplies include water, Gatorade, granola bars, and more.
They don't have to worry about loading their packs up and getting snacks and stuff like that. It's all right there when they come in to get dressed out, get their gear on, get on the truck, and try to make it as easy as possible for them. So
those involved with the donations say community support has been overwhelming.
We're a close-knit community, but you know, when you see our land burning up like this, it hits us all at heart, and it just people realize that how important our Montana Valley is.
They also have a tab open at a Belfry restaurant so any firefighters can get a hot meal paid for by community donations. In Belfry, Brandon Warren, MTN News.
We do know at least one family has lost a home to the Deep Creek Canyon fire burning east of Townsend. Fire officials tell MTN that several other structures may also be gone. The fire has burned more than 4,600 acres as of the latest report. The cause of that fire still under investigation. As firefighters battle wildfires across Montana, the Forest Service air tanker base at the Helena Regional Airport has played a central role. The Helena base is one of only a few in the region that can handle all sizes of air tankers. This week, crews have already loaded nearly a dozen planes with fire retardant. On Thursday morning, it took just 6 minutes to put 3,000 gallons of retardant onto an Avro RJ-85, which was sent to assist on the Robertson Draw fire near Red Lodge. The tanker base typically does not open until July 7th, but it ramped up to full operations Monday because of the serious fire situation around the state.
This space is specifically important because it's, helping save lives and property by being able to quickly get retardant onto the fire. So this service center here allows us to serve all of Montana.
The Forest Service is reminding us that it's important not to operate any drones around a fire area. All aircraft will need to be pulled out of the air if a drone gets too close. Well, in the Pryor Mountains, the Crooked Creek fire has burned more than 5,000 acres with no containment. The fire is on National Forest land adjacent to the Crow Reservation. The fire is northwest of the Pryor Mountain Wild Horse Range, but we're told it's not impacting the wild horse herd. Montana U.S. Senator Jon Tester is part of a bipartisan 10-senator group that's worked out a potential compromise on a national infrastructure bill. That's our next topic here. He spoke with MTN's Mike Dennison about the contents and status of the package and what its chances it may have to actually pass.
5 Republicans and 5 Democrats, including Tester, hammered out the trillion-dollar compromise, which is less than half the size of the plan offered up in April by President Biden. Tester said it funds what he called traditional infrastructure: roads, bridges, high-speed internet networks, and transit.
Things like housing, things like money for VA facilities, things like child care, senior care, things which, by the way, I support, are not in it because they fell off during the negotiations.
He hopes the package will be introduced by Monday or early next week. And how to pay for it. The plan currently has a gas tax increase starting next year, which Tester opposes, and among other things, money for more IRS agents to increase revenue through increased enforcement of tax collections. Tester also said supporters plan to get the 60 Senate votes needed to overcome any filibuster. Some liberal Democrats have said they won't vote for a package that doesn't do more to address climate change, to whom Tester had this message.
I think it would really be important that they do as I'm going to do, and that is take a look at the bill, see what it does for your state, see what it does for the nation as a whole. Ask yourself, does this help us compete with China? And then make the decision based on that.
He said some of Biden's priorities left out of the compromise will be in separate bills yet to come. And as for Montana's other U.S. Senator, Republican Steve Daines, a spokeswoman for the senator said he wants to see the proposal first before taking any position, but that he wants a bill that sticks to traditional infrastructure and doesn't raise any taxes. Tester said he gives the compromise a fair chance of passage, but
things can fall apart real easily, and things can happen quicker than what you might think too. It just depends on how the senators react to it. It depends on how outside groups react to it, and then we can move from there.
Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Now, President Biden's original infrastructure plan had $2 trillion price tag and included things such as upgrading the nation's power grid for clean energy and an increase in corporate taxes to help pay for it all. Well, 6:37 now in headlines closer to home. Butte Silver Bow Sheriff Ed Lester warns there is a scam happening in the Butte area. People and businesses have reported receiving an email that claims to be from Father Patrick Beretta. The emails ask the person to buy an Amazon gift card for a cancer patient. Father Beretta has been in contact with law enforcement and says he is not sending the emails and he is not soliciting funds for anyone. If you get a suspicious email, do not respond. Instead, report it to Butte Police at 406-497-1120, that number there on your screen. Well, it's something not anyone wants to hear about in the middle of summer, especially after more than a year of pandemic restrictions. But experts are already looking ahead to this year's flu season. Across the U.S. in 2020, we had a record low numbers. 1 child died from the flu compared to the nearly 200 flu-related deaths the year before. That year, there were 144 reported deaths. In 2018, the big changes we saw in 2020 were the use of face masks and social distancing.
Influenza is a bit less transmissible than COVID-19, so face masks are even more effective.
Josh Petrie is a research assistant in infectious diseases. He says it can be hard to forecast how a flu season will go, but it's likely we'll see more flu cases this year as fewer people wear masks.
We've already seen some viruses start to return, like RSV, rhinovirus, some of the other coronaviruses that usually cause colds. We've started to see those come back.
Less immunity in the overall population is also possible as fewer people caught the flu in the past year. So taking proper precautions is still important. There's a lot of focus right now on the COVID vaccine, but getting the flu shot is equally important.
It's going to reduce your risk of getting sick, reduce your chances of passing it on to other people. And so definitely it's recommended that everyone gets it to reduce their risk and to reduce transmission.
Not a fun topic, but an important one. Influenza activity typically picks up around October. According to the CDC, the flu shot is usually available in the early fall. Well, it is 6:40 for you right now. We still have a lot to get to this morning on Montana This Morning, including a tropical storm bearing down on the Gulf Coast today as the 2021 hurricane season gets underway. Coming up, find out where the storm will hit and how much rain it is expected to bring with it. But first, here's a look at what you'll see at 7 on CBS This Morning.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS. Americans are experiencing triple-digit temperatures from an intense heat wave in the west. What you can do to stay safe and how long the sweltering conditions will last. Also, the push for paid family leave. Tony and baby Eloise meet with the first member of Congress to take paternity leave to see how he's hoping to give all dads the same opportunity. And ahead of Father's Day, we talk with legendary drummer Max Weinberg of Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band. He shares an emotional journey that strengthened his relationship with his daughter. All coming up when we see you at 7.